Well, I guess then the answer is, where does it go from here, Scott Van Pelt? And the general sense is, like, do you if you're the PGA Tour, do you just say, "Uncle, okay, let's sit down and we'll talk," and merge, and the live events are played during the football months, and like you absorb that. You absorb that. You know, the PGA Tour doesn't really want to go up against the NFL and college football anyway. So, what do you think about that?
Listen, there's some. If the PGA Tour were a bit more malleable about how it went about things to begin with, and were more proactive, then I don't think it would have got to this point. But they weren't, and I think they banked on loyalty just for the sake of loyalty. And at some point, you know, your loyalty is for sale when you get to these types of numbers. And that happened. So I can't imagine them giving up immediately and just saying, "Ah, the hell with it." But then, you know, it's a reasonable question to ask, as I believe Jim Nantz did of Commissioner Monahan. So you gave a waiver to people to play in a Saudi Arabian event. So why won't it has the same backers? Why this? I don't know, man. It's just, I just feel like there's so much conversation, and I get it. I don't know who's interested in it.
No, I know.
Other than us talking about it.
Well, we peeked in on it. You know what I mean? We peeked in on it, and the graphics looked like, you know, for the team graphics looked like something out of those Nickelodeon games with slot. Like, I don't know what those graphics were for the teams. I wasn't interested in it at all. You know, I mean, the broadcast. I know people who were putting the broadcast on it looked professional quality, but
no doubt.
You know, but the golf wasn't compelling, and I guess that might be the PGA is just like, wait it out. You know, who's going to be paying attention to tournament 5 on the LIV Tour,
sure.
right? Like, so.
Well, and then the PGA Tour got absolutely. I mean, it was magic for them to go out and have the Canadian Open
Rory.
With a glamour group. In Thomas, McIlroy, and Finau all go out and play like geniuses in Canada. It was a circus. It felt like all of Canada was out there just going berserk, and it was. And I mean, they all played great, and you got McIlroy, you know, basically saying, "Yeah, I got one more than somebody else," and it was clear he's whether he chose to be or not, he's now kind of, you know, Jon Snow in Game of Thrones throwing out his sword. In this case, maybe he's got the bigger army, but nevertheless, it feels like Rory's front and center out there saying, "Follow me."
So
you could do worse. The PGA Tour could do far worse than an accomplished, thoughtful, articulate guy that's not afraid to talk a little crap.
So does that make Norman a wildling or the Night King? What does that make?
I don't know. That time will tell. I mean, but we found out that he had the Achilles heel, didn't he? He seemed so scary, and then all at once he shattered, didn't he?
Well, I mean, does that mean staring at Alan Shipnuck? By the way, I mean, like, is that what you're talking about, or?
Yeah, that was. How about that? And I mean that whole first week was quite. You know, I mean, again, and I don't know if it played out in our little media echo chamber or if the real world was really out there, you know, at the trough feeding. That's the part in our business that I never really. You try to be clever and you know, figure out from a treetops view, but it's hard when you're down there in the middle of it. You know, you're just trying to find some room in the mosh pit and, you know, go with what you think people are interested in. It certainly has been, like, we've talked about it. I know you have. Everybody has.
Yeah.
So we'll see if people are watching. That'll be the thing.
So is St. Andrews next for you? Are you going?
Not for me.
Okay.
It's such a bummer. We used to have both the Opens, and you know, it sort of was hot potato with the rights for these events. This becomes real boring, but we don't have either of the Opens any longer. So I just watch everybody else work. Our major championship season is done from the TV side.
Well, you know what? Slumming it in Butler Cabin is a pretty place to do that, Scott. So that's all good for
no one's complaining. No one's complaining. I'm happy to get to do what I get to do, and
you're awesome,
what I get to do from St. Andrews this year's watch.